not kill yourself for a career that will not love you back. Do you want a tomato girl to throw at me? It's literally fine. Guys, she's got something, right? Hi, my name is Ayana Shepherd. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And I'm here today to talk about the day I flopped. The reason I want to talk about this is because I want to share a lot of things with my channel and a lot of successes with my channel, but I also want to share my L's so it's realistic. And this was definitely one of them, yeah. So I started becoming serious about modeling I guess my sophomore year of college. It's like reaching out to different photography majors at NYU, or like even my friend from my hometown who went to study photography in Italy. So I would go take pictures, you know, with my curly hair, with my afro. And my friend Justin, we started these test shoots, and I really loved taking photos. Like when I was taking photos, my alter ego was coming out. I call her Z. Z was coming out, and like I just felt so confident and so happy. Like it was literally like an alter ego. Like in my everyday life, I was kind of, you know, just, I'm not gonna say I wasn't a baddie, but I was just like, you know, unsuspecting. But when I got in front of a camera, it was like fierce. That connection that I had with photos and photography, making someone's vision even come true, it was just a really pleasant experience for me, and I had a lot of fun doing that. I went to models.com, made a list. So in total, I applied to 56 agencies in New York. And let me tell you about my experiences. Casting lines, just thinking about it makes me, like, I really waited in a line of like 1,000 people when just standing together in the sweltering heat or literally in the cold. So hey, you meet a couple good people when you're doing that. And I remember this one time I was like standing in line about to, I think it was the Wilhelmina casting call, and this girl next to me that I've made friends with like the whole day, she came up, a scout came up to her and scouted her just off that line. So I was happy for her, but I was also like a little disappointed because, you know, that was my dream at the time, and it didn't feel good, but I didn't want to let that feeling of, I guess it was jealousy, get in the way of my like proudness, because that's like a good thing for her. Like, and I didn't want to like not lift her up in that moment. Like it wasn't about me. But I can't lie, like when a scout came up to her and we were both like in the line and just like completely pretended that I didn't exist, I felt like a potato. So I got a couple rejection emails. But one agency, and they're a pretty big agency, I'm gonna keep the name private as well, like out of respect. They called me back when I was on the way to the interview. Guys, let me tell you, I was so nervous. Like this was my first interaction with a modeling agency ever. And it was 90 degrees. I was wearing a long sleeve shirt and a mini skirt. I was like sweating because I was nervous. I was just like a little baby at the time. So yeah, so I walked into the agency. I didn't wear heels, I wore sneakers. And I remember walking into the place, like the elevator opened, and it was just like a room of people like at their desks. Like it was like a real chill office situation. And I was like, hi. I went up to the front desk and I was like, hi, I'm here for a meeting with da-da-da. And they're like, okay. So I sat for a little bit, and then she came out. When I was introducing myself, I noticed she was a little bit like dismissive, cold. And I just didn't think much about it. I was just like, okay, maybe she's having a bad day. So let's get into this interview. I was still at this point feeling hopeful. I remember there was this one part of the interview where, you know, she's asking me about how I grew up. And at this time, I'm like around 19. So like I'm talking about middle school, and I was like, oh, when I was a kid, And then she just like laughed at me and was like, you're still a kid. And I was like, it was like, okay, normally that's something I would laugh like and agree with me, like you're right, but the way she said it, like her tone, it was like,
get this fly out of my office.
I'm like a naturally bubbly person, so I tend to smile a lot and like laugh, throw jokes in when I'm talking to somebody, especially somebody new. And this girl was just like blank. I felt like a stand-up comedian who like was not good at crowd work. I was like, dang, do you want a tomato girl to throw at me? You know, I was getting sized up real time, and this was in like in a room like full of people. Like it was like me and this lady on the couches like off to the side, and then there's a full room of people. Tell me about your life. Well, I started modeling when I was 14 for my grandma's shop, and when I was a kid and I really wanted to become a confident person, right? And I just feel like modeling here would really, you know, take my career. I'm prepared to do test shoots or digital. Can you show me your pictures again? Guys, she's got something, right? Yeah, I guess. She looks pretty cool. Wait, are you talking about me? She? Okay. And she's like talking about my pictures, like she's pulling my pictures up in front of the screen. Like I'm not right in front of her face. Like that was the only compliment I heard from her. I don't know, to be talked about in that way while I'm right here, it's kind of like, do you want to get to know me or not? Like I'm not interested in just being a pretty face on an agency wall. Like I want to actually get to know my agents and have a relationship with them. And I just feel like in that interview, kindness was something that was not present in the room. Is kindness in the room with us? So I once again felt like a fly, but it's fine. It's literally fine. I was feeling kind of like, how do I best describe it? A piece of meat at the butcher shop. What is with that look that they give, like the agents? Like I get they're trying to scope out the scenery or whatever, but girl, I am a human. I walked into the room looking to connect. And, you know, there was already the initial interest, but I left feeling like disposable. Because I remember coming home that day and like crying because that was the first time I had an experience like that. And it was just like, it was overwhelming for me to be treated like that. I called my co-star at that point because she was a model too. And I called her and I said, I don't get why they'd even call me in if they were gonna treat me like that, if they didn't care. Like, I was really pretty brokenhearted about it, and she cheered me up. She was like, the fact that you even came in after submitting your pictures online means that they saw something in you, and maybe that's not the right place for you, but that doesn't take away from the fact that you still have those gifts. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Honestly, looking back right now, I would have just seen it as a waste of time. But to a 19-year-old, being that mean to someone is cruel. And I know what people are gonna say. They're like, this is a modeling career, like you need to buck up, you need to have thick skin. People are gonna be saying this about you, whatever. You're literally getting hired off your looks. And I agree to an extent, but I feel like there should still be that mutual respect, because at the end of the day, modeling isn't just about taking pretty pictures and moving on. It's about building relationships, especially with the people behind the scenes, the photographers, the brands. Like, what do they want out of you that day? What story are they trying to tell? And I feel like when you're so disposable to even just like your agency, those are the people that are going to be pitching you, putting you forward. And like, those are the people you need to have that first good relationship with. And when they treat you like with this hierarchy and that they're better than you already, instead of, oh, join this team, we can grow with you, it's kind of already discouraging and disheartening. But what I would say to like my younger self, and maybe anybody who's pursuing modeling now, don't internalize people's unkindness and indifference towards you, because at the end of the day, maybe that lady was just having a bad day and she was just over it when she met me. In that case, we could have rescheduled, but like literally, it's not always, somebody's behavior towards you is rarely ever about you. So I would say don't give up just because someone's attitude or indifference. If you have that security like within yourself, you'll be able to go far. So don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it. So that was the end of my journey with that modeling agency. I have another story about another interview, and this one was quite respectful. I was very nervous, obviously, going into the interview because I was like kind of not traumatized, but I was remembering what happened before. So this interview was with state management. I don't care really about saying their name because I had such a pleasant experience with them. I was meeting with the lifestyle director who does mostly the commercial bookings, and she was a sweetheart. Like literally every interview, that's like what I kind of want. Like we were talking about, you know, how she got into being an agent. Like she also went to NYU as well. I don't know, she seemed genuinely interested in me, my life, and while I was modeling, and I was shocked. Now, I know this is the bare minimum, but I was shocked because I was like, oh, thank God, this is a pleasant experience. And although we didn't end up signing a contract, I was just really grateful to have that experience with that agency because I think maybe they had too many people, honestly, that kind of were like my type or looked like me. So I didn't end up there. But the way that I got into this interview in the first place wasn't through self-submission. It was actually through one of my co-stars works at state and was like, hey, I think you'd be really good at modeling. I was like, do you now? You say what? Which angle? All of them. No, but seriously, he gave me a referral. From there, I got it. And I find like that's the easiest way to get connected to an agency is through a referral. But make sure that you're actually friends with a person and make sure like you actually have a book or a portfolio that you can show, because like if you kind of ask for a referral from someone that you're not that close with or someone who can't vouch for your work, then it's like a little awkward for you and for them because they're like, oh, I don't really know. Is she gonna take it seriously? Like, what if I send it to my agent and they're like, why would you send me this? Like, it's kind of like that give and pull. Those other 54 agencies I didn't hear anything from. So obviously this was back in 2022 as well, so I haven't submitted recently, but I remember like doing like open calls these past years too. Like even with the Wilhelmina agency, that line was insane. Like I know maybe some people saw it on TikTok, but it was actually insane to wait that line. And I made some friends. I always make friends wherever I go, bro. Like I made some cool friends. I remember when we got up to the interview spot, like it was like interview, but it was really like, I don't know, okay, it was just like a line of models. There was a photographer at the door who takes your digitals, and then there was 3 agents like in a line, and then there was a line to talk to the agents. And so when I got up to the agents, this Russian woman, bless her heart, she didn't even like look like at my face until I started talking to myself, until I had the confidence to introduce myself, be like, here's why I like modeling, da. We talked a little bit, and she was talking about how, you know, modeling isn't the only thing they look for when they're signing a person. They also look for personalities and like people that they would be proud to send out to clients. So we like had a little discourse before she like just told me to turn, and she just like looked at my torso, and then she was like, okay, bye. This career is not easy, and there is lots of rejection. Lots of rejection. I can't wait to share my W's with you guys, but yeah, I'm gonna be honest on this channel. Like in the face of rejection, it's important to know not to be discouraged, because life is happening for your growth, not for your detriment. So nothing that's gonna get in the way or harm you is ever gonna succeed in your life unless it's to test you. Even though I wanted so badly to be signed, those agencies were just not where I was meant to be. These experiences didn't take away for my love for modeling. Like I still love taking photos. I love getting to meet people on set. I love meeting with brands, and I like seeing their vision boards or what they want out of this campaign or this photo shoot, and you know, being a part of it and being able to bring it to life. That's something that I still think of very specially, and being a storyteller in that way is quite fun for me. So honestly, if you're pursuing a dream like this, make sure you're pursuing it because you believe you want to do it. I think a lot of the times I felt pressured to become a model or because I was living in New York, you know, and I heard that a lot. Like a lot of people would just be like, oh, you should be a model or you should make money off this. It wasn't really something that I was like thought I could do at first. You don't have to be a model just because other people think you do, especially in the age of 24-inch waist and Paris skinny. Let me tell you, do not kill yourself for a career that will not love you back. Look how they treat like top models, like Anaki Ai. Somebody called her a cockroach on set. What? This is the agency that people are fighting to get into, and it's kind of like, honestly, it reminds me of like Mean Girls. Like, you want to be sit at this table because you're excluded from it.
You can't sit with us.
That's how they make their money, off of exclusion, off of people's dreams, and like having this gate there. So don't kill yourself for a career that's like gonna treat you like you're disposable, because you're not, you know? So hey, but if this is something that you really love and you really want to pursue, then I say go for it. Go for it as many times as you want. Don't give up. But me, hey, I don't know. I feel like what's meant for me always finds its way into my life. And let me tell you this story. I helped this girl at it was like a Japan food festival, and I just helped her take some photos for like some UGC content. And I saw she was struggling, so I did what I could to help. And a couple months later, she DMs me like, oh, do you want to be a part of this campaign for this brand I'm working with? And I'm like, what is she talking about? See me, I'm always like, this ain't real before I even look at it. But like, I saw the company, they're a pretty cool Coke company, and I'm shooting this campaign with them next week. And I would have never guessed that it could happen that way. It can. Like, sometimes just meeting people and talking to people will get you into so many more rooms than submitting yourself online endlessly, or like harassing agents or calling agents up or just showing up. Sometimes meeting people by chance will take you exactly where you want to be. So have faith. If that path is something that you want, pray on it or manifest it, and then have faith that it will happen for you. That's enough yapping for me. If you like this video, I'll be making more. I'm actually, guys, I know I pulled a disappearing act for 9 months, but hear me out. I was graduating, I was writing a screenplay. Like, I'm gonna have my YouTube channel for the rest of my life, okay? Please don't burn me at the stake. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe, DM me on Instagram, contact me, comment something that you want to see. Maybe I'll do it, if it's not sus or anything. Bye.